Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
What's good? What's good? Welcome back to First Cut Live. I'm here with the crew, the starting lineup, my NBA Finals crew. First of all, I'm here with the boy himself, Mr. RB3. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on? Happy to be here. First Cut Live. What's good?
And finally, we have the return of the queen herself. She has come back, flying around in her dragon all over the nation. It's Sabrina Ramirez. What's up, girl?
Doing great. I'm so happy to be back with you guys. I was watching last week and I missed out on so much. So happy to be here.
Definitely missed out on the lie. Yeah, we got through a lot of topics last week. So happy to have you back. That's the first thing I want to get to, Sabrina. Obviously, we try to do our whole catch up thing, but you have a lot to catch up on because we haven't seen you for a little bit. You went all over the country, kind of. Either way, I want to hear about your trip. Any fun stories or what was it about?
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun. As you guys know, I went on the trip with Brandon and Hannah, and we kind of checked out a lot of states that I've never seen before. So we went to places like Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, all over the place. Arizona, we drove through Phoenix. Andres, I was going to text you, but we were zooming through. I was going to text you and be like, you want to watch Tenet? But yeah, so it was a lot of fun, and we were able to stay at the Stanley Hotel, which was awesome. That's something that I've always wanted to do. So the fact that we were able to do it, that was kind of like a dream come true for me. And we stayed in the second most haunted room. As you guys know, Brandon kept getting spooked by a ghost. There was this ghost that just kept coming for him. I was totally fine. The ghost said, nah, we're good. We don't need Sabrina. We're just going to go for Brandon. So it was really funny to kind of wake up in the middle of the night and see him scared. I was just like, you good? So there was a lot of that. It was a really good time.
That's amazing. Yeah, obviously, The Shining is one of my all-time favorite movies. I adore that movie so much. So seeing you go there, I was like, my jealousy rate was at an all-time 10. I was like, oh my God, I would love to do that. So any other adventures you did there? I'm going back to the hotel part because that's like my favorite part. What else did you explore around there? How was it?
So we just walked through the entire hotel. It was really cool. They had all these kind of stuff honoring The Shining, honoring Stephen King. The view is so breathtaking. Colorado is genuinely one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to. And I expected that, but I didn't expect how stunning it was. The night sky, the stars, it's something I've never even seen before. So when we're at the hotel and just experiencing all that, we watched Dr. Sleep before we went to sleep. So I thought that was funny.
Dr. Sleep.
We're here. But even just exploring the entire place, it's so gorgeous, and learning about the history and Jim Carrey when they were filming Dumb and Dumber, because they did the bar scene over there and things like that. He stayed in room 217 and he fled in the middle of the night and has never talked about it since, why he did that. But there's just so many stories like that. And so next time I'm saying First Cut goes, we all stay in room 217. Let's make it happen.
Gotta vlog it.
We're doing it. We're all sharing a bet. Just like Comic-Con.
We're gonna be all snuggled up because we're scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Exactly. That sounds amazing. And obviously that would be a blast. I would love to do that. And yeah, obviously Colorado is one of those states that I think a lot of people sleep on as far as how beautiful it can be.
Yeah.
I would love to do that. That sounds I can't lie, Sabrina. Part of me is I'm a hopeless romantic. So part of me is damn, that sounds hyper romantic for me. Just the night sky, bars. Yeah, I'm just damn, that'd be crazy.
It was beautiful. I'm not even the most outdoorsy person. I've never really been like that, obviously growing up in Chicago, but we were just hiking, and the views, we were at 10,000 elevation in New Mexico. It was so stunning. And we just had a beer at the top because they had this tiny little shack. And there was just so many exciting things that I never got to experience before, and that I finally did. And yeah, I mean, going back to the hotel, that was the highlight because I got surprised with that. Brandon lied to me, and he's a bad liar, so I'm honestly shocked that he pulled this off. But he lied and said that they were booked up, and it was really expensive to get even a crappy room. So that they hotel down in Estes Park, which is still beautiful and really nice. But then we pulled up to the actual hotel, and he's like, "Now we're staying," and so that was a lot of fun. Yeah,
that is super.
That's nice. That's so dope, yo. I feel like any state like outside of California is like so spoiled that like you get like those like beautiful night skies, like you literally have to travel to see that. So that's so nice that you get to like experience all of that and everything. Like
I tweeted about it. The sky was insane. The amount of stars you could see like the galaxy. I had no idea views could look like this. I've never seen anything like it in my entire life. It was something so spectacular and so stunning. And I'm not an outdoorsy person at all, but I would love to camp out there.
Did y'all see any good like other like film spots? Like y'all in New Mexico, y'all get a chance to drive by the Breaking Bad house or anything or?
So we didn't do that, but we did go to the High School Musical high school that's actually in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Woo.
Yep, that was the first stop.
High School Musical.
That's the ultimate parent.
Cinematic masterpieces. I went to both ends of the spectrum. We got it. But that was really cool because the school looks exactly like it does in the movie. I know this is not something for me to like geek about when I'm talking about the Shining house, and now I'm talking about the High School Musical high school, but it was genuinely really cool. And there were so many people around that were taking photos in front of it too. I didn't, but I took photos of it. But still, yeah, the town that the Stanley Hotel's at is so beautiful. There's all these little shops and it's just surrounded by mountains. There's a whole Rocky Mountain like park right next to it. And I was able to see a ton of animals. I know this sounds crazy. I've just never seen this kind of stuff. There was elks. There was like hundreds of elks just walking across. And I'm just like, I feel like I'm in a Disney movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those things where when you finally get to explore, when we were supposed to do what you guys did it, the Winston thing, the game thing, and I went with my family on that quick hiking trip, I had that quick little moment of like, yo, nature though. Where I'm so stuck inside that when you finally go out and you do like hiking and stuff and you see animals and you see like beautiful mountains, you're just like, damn. My little room is limited, bro.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right?
It's so crazy, especially being inside the house for the past few months, how everybody's been. Just being able to be outside in nature was something so beautiful. In Utah, there's this like Antelope Island type of thing, and it's so gorgeous watching the sunset and seeing it go down the horizon because it's like flat from all across. God. It was beautiful, and so it was kind of a really perfect way to spend my birthday, especially this year because we weren't in contact with anyone. We were in nature most of the time. So
yeah, that's crazy. You could be there with like a tree and you could fall in love with that tree. I swear. That place is like, those places are like so romantic that you're just like, damn.
Starting with this already starting with this stuff. Andres and his like romantic side. He's like, I could fall in love with that tree.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it, honestly. Ace with Daisy Ridley taking her on a cross-country drive. That'd be the thing to do.
I guess. Yeah, why not? Either way, any other highlights that you want to give a shout out before we move on?
Yeah, it was just like honestly all of that, and then also I was able to stay with PJ Campbell, the writer for the Schmodown. As you guys know, PJ Campbell's awesome. So we stayed with him for a few days. We had Dwayne Burke there. We had Tim Franco late to the party, showed up, and we had like the social distance game night. One of the nights that was a lot of fun. So that was just overall just a really good time. Those 10 days flew by. We were in the car for so long. I thought. But going into the trip, I'm like, we're either going to hate each other after this or like each other more. I'm shocked I don't hate Brandon and that he doesn't hate me because we spent a lot of time in the car together.
But you don't like him more either?
We're not going into details here. We'll talk about it after.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would love to do something like that. I've always wanted to. Driving isn't necessarily my favorite. I know a lot of people love it. Like my brother and my dad are just, they can drive for hours. My dad has literally driven across the country quite a few times. And it's one of those things where it's like, I can't imagine driving for like 3 days or 4 days or whatever. So that's not necessarily my favorite, but if I had little pit stops like you guys did, I think I would enjoy it quite a bit. So
yeah, the longest we went was like 10 hours. The first time we ended up actually driving through Vegas, not getting out of the car just to see kind of how it was right now. First of all, it's popping. Second of all, so like that. We drove through, so yeah.
Well,
yeah.
my bad. I didn't hear any of that. I don't know if that went through with the rest of the audience, but
You said L.A. Las Vegas was popping, right?
yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
sorry.
Uh-oh. We lost Sabrina, y'all. She's back in the Shining Hotel.
That ghost is haunting the Wi-Fi.
Take it by the ghost.
Wi-Fi. Yeah, there it is.
Haunting the Wi-Fi, taking it over.
Sabrina. Speaking of which, there's a horror movie that came out recently that we're gonna review later. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about. I kind of feel like we can't talk about the movies that we saw, right? I don't know if spoiler reviews or
spoiling our review
because I literally just finished. Oh, there she goes.
Sabrina, no.
I literally just finished Enola Holmes.
Oh, I didn't get around to that one.
What, bro? You were supposed to watch it.
I'm sorry, man.
Dang it, man. Now you're pulling to me.
Don't you darn it. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm worse than anyone. Every time you guys are like, hey, we're going to talk about this movie, I'm like, oh, about that.
Yeah.
I went and rewatched Attack on Titan instead, which, by the way, finally has an announcement date. Attack on Titan finally is going to be released. It was supposed to be released in April. Then it got moved to June. Then it got moved to September. Then it got moved to October. Finally, we got another date. It should be the final date, which is December 7th, which is perfect because that's around the time of my Schmodown, my Star Wars title match, The Spectacular.
So you could just win it and relax.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm going to win it and then watch Attack on Titan forever.
Yeah, because you're going to be too deep in that Star Wars knowledge by that point.
Exactly. That's my plan.
Yeah.
Right? Because if it came out like October or November, I'd be screwed. Because I'd be so focused on it.
Hey!
I'm back. That was all for theatrics. It totally wasn't my internet cutting out. I just did it for theatrics.
We're talking about the Shining ghost, getting to the Wi-Fi.
Oh yeah, exactly. They're still haunting me. They're definitely haunting Brandon. There's a ghost that haunts that room because it was room 401. And usually he goes for women, and he plays with like their hair and stuff like that. Completely ignored me. He wasn't attracted to me. Just went straight to Brandon. So
hey, sometimes it's a different vibe, It's feeling something else. We were talking about the movies that we were supposed to review after this, Sabrina. We saw 3 movies, or we were supposed to see 3 movies, RB3.
No.
We saw all 3 of them. I can't lie. I don't even know if I like any of them. Well, I think I liked the last one I just saw. I thought it was cute.
Okay, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. Enola. But every time I say it like that. I have to say Enola. Yeah. But
oh my god, but Antebellum. Can I just say Antebellum?
We spoiled.
Watch our review. Go
ahead.
No, say your piece, please.
Say it. Come on. We'll get to it, but say it.
I can't believe I paid $19.99 for the most dog poop movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Holy crap! How terrible was that movie? Oh my god, that was one of the worst movies I texted ever seen.
You guys saw the text chain, my reaction to it, right? When I told you guys, I was like, "Oh yeah, let's watch it." I've heard nothing but bad things.
It was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, even if whenever we're watching movies at home and we're reviewing them, I'm always like, I wonder what it would be like watching this in the theater. And I swear the entire audience would probably be like, huh? At so many parts. That was definitely a movie. Movie deserves better.
Yeah, it was a movie.
Yeah.
It was a movie.
Yeah,
I have a lot of takes on a lot of the movies that we saw. Because the first one I saw when it came out was Devil All the Time. And that's another movie where I was like, what the hell is this? What is going on right now? But we'll get to that in our reviews, obviously. Another thing I want to do is, obviously, first thing is I want to catch up with you, RB3. Anything big coming up for you or anything that you do exciting? As in, like, I'm predicting the future. Denver wins this game. What?
Oh,
Denver's winning the game?
Now we're talking about
It's like a vision.
Listen. I don't want
The
to. I
ghost
don't want to
from
speak.
The Shining.
Yeah, I don't want to speak. I don't want to speak too much during Sabrina's whole Colorado trip. Because I got beef with Denver.
Oh, you
right
got
now.
beef with Colorado.
I got beef.
Those
and it's
beautiful
not,
mountains.
Yeah. And guess what? I ain't got chicken. It ain't beef. I got nuggets. I got chicken nuggets. All right.
But they delicious.
Because guess what? The Nuggets, the Lakers about to eat them up. Lakers about to eat them
because they're
up
yummy.
in 5 games. 5 games.
5? What happened to 4?
Hey man, it was supposed to be a clean sweep. I mean, they couldn't get the stuff right. But hey, listen. Hey, listen. There's gonna be no competition going into the next round. It's gonna be Nuggets in 5, and then
Nuggets in 5.
I'm sorry, Lakers in 5.
Okay.
Take out the Nuggets. Lakers are gonna take out the Nuggets in 5.
Okay.
Lakers are gonna take out the Heat in
Okay.
6 and 6 and 6.
Okay.
Those are my final predictions.
Regardless of who comes out of the East, I'm going for them. Like if it's Miami, I'm going for Miami.
Why?
If it's Boston, I'm going for Boston. Because I'm a hardcore Lakers hater, bro. Like I'm a Suns fan.
Yeah.
I've been a Suns fan my whole life. Like I grew up
Hateration.
hating the Lakers. Yeah,
Hateration.
I have to. I have to keep the tradition of hating the Lakers. And Sabrina once again is lost. It's funny, Sabrina, because when you were gone, I pitched to RB3 jokingly, kind of semi-jokingly, NBA talk on last week's stream, but there's a lot of news that came out.
Yeah.
So I was like,
we
probably
have
won't get
things
to it.
talk about.
Because that Clippers Game 7 was...
Oh, yeah, that was wild.
See, you don't even know about basketball, but you know that. Oh, do you not know about it?
No, I was kidding.
Oh,
I
okay. I was going to say, because that was such a big event that even Sabrina knows about it.
Yeah. Nah, they
that
just
Game
choked.
7.
They just choked. That's all.
It wasn't just a choke, bro. That was like a straight up like real bad disaster catastrophe. That was like a freaking like geostorm type crap where it's like 5 horrible things going on at the same time. It was pretty bad. But before we move on to our main topic of today, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the Emmys. Maybe because I haven't talked to you guys about it. I know you're not the biggest TV person, Sabrina. But pretty much every show that was nominated for best drama series, I saw and I loved. I tweeted that out. I was like, man, it's so funny how every show happens to be like one of my favorite shows of last year. I literally enjoy every single one of them. But any takeaways from the Emmys and the whole at-home thing? Because I feel like the viewership was super low, which is obviously a testament to Seahawks versus Patriots, and also the Lakers playing at the same time. So that had to do with it. But at the same time, this at-home environment didn't vibe with a lot of people, apparently. So I don't know if you have any takes on that.
Yeah, obviously, everybody's doing the best they can. They're kind of doing what they can at this time. I didn't watch it fully. I watched clips. So it was fine. I don't know if I would sit down and watch it from start to finish the way that it was, but watching clips was okay with me. I thought it was really funny how they kind of gave everybody their awards. They had funny in a weird like dystopian way. It's so weird to think about like interns dressed up in like hazmat suits outside of like Emmy nominated people's houses, like celebrated actors and actresses and everyone. It's something that's really interesting. And then they would just like wave and walk away. I would love to be the Emmy outside of all of their houses, the person holding the Emmy. But Zendaya winning is my favorite. I think she deserved it. I'm so ecstatic. Everybody who was nominated was incredible, and I haven't gotten a chance to see a lot of it. But I think this is, first of all, just how young and talented she is and how poised she is. And that performance that she gave in Euphoria, that is one of those shows that I've seen, and I've seen it about 3 times fully through already. I love that show. I think it's very impactful. I think it's something that's important, especially her performance and her portrayal of somebody who is going through an addiction. I actually talked about her career. The fact that she started out obviously with like Disney shows and doing a lot of things that were very kid friendly and taking this like really mature turn with her career. Obviously she still does like Spider-Man, and those are a lot of fun, but she gets a chance to really let her acting chops show in something like Euphoria. So I'm so happy she got that accolade.
Yeah. RB3, any takeaways from the Emmys as well?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, what Sabrina said was Zendaya is absolutely amazing. She's the youngest winner in that category for lead actress in drama series. Also the second African American woman to ever win that award. First being Viola Davis and How to Get Away with Murder. So this is historic. Is bold. A lot of people are calling it like an upset victory because there's a lot of other frontrunner candidates. But when we look at who made the biggest impact in 2019 television, I will probably say it was Zendaya. And honestly, who's the biggest star out of the people nominated out of those currently? It's probably Zendaya too. So like, and in a lot of ways, it's not the biggest upsets. And in a lot of ways, she pretty much has almost eclipsed television in a lot of ways. Like now she's doing Dune and the Spider-Man movies, like you said. So, but Euphoria is that like extra special, brand of television that, like you said, Sabrina, really allows her to like show her acting chops. So it's really brilliant. HBO just in general having like that just amazing run. I mean, for Zendaya for that category, not to mention Succession winning Best Drama Series, one of our favorite shows on this podcast. Watchmen, obviously. Becoming easily the biggest superhero show ever to win any. Yeah.
We were on that Watchmen train like early, bro. Like we were episode 1. We were like, holy crap, this show is incredible.
Yeah, and they absolutely deserved all 11 wins.
100.
And I mentioned this point on SCN, but the categories that it lost actually lost them because it was too good. Like it was nominated 3 times in the Best Director category, but didn't win Best Director because it probably split the vote like 3 different ways. So,
but did you see the episode that won Best Directing?
It was Unorthodox, right? That was
no the best directing in an episode went to I think it's called The Hunt or The Hunted.
For drama series, yes, for Succession,
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It was the Boar on the Floor episode.
Yeah. That's a strange episode.
Which again, that episode though is so. I swear, if you just want a glimpse into like every thematic element inside Succession, that's so well done.
Yeah,
that episode is it. Where it's just insane, ridiculous, vicious, disgusting, evil. The way they explain the capitalistic effect of the companies they have, where they're like, oh, we're gonna go hunting for boars, and they're like, okay, cool. Oh, all the boars are put inside a pen, and we just shoot them from this high level. And it's like literally like a commentary on how they have like all these advantages. And they're like, is that even hunting? Yeah. If you have all these advantages? Greg is the one who says that in the episode. And then I forget Homeboy's name. Yeah, Greg is the who says that. And the guy's like, who cares, man? We can do this. We have all the money. And they're shooting boars from like a place where they're keeping them inside a pen, where it's like they have all these advantages. And I was like, that's literally a breakdown of this entire episode of how unfair the structure is of the capitalistic nature of their companies. Succession's incredible. Like it deserves all those awards. It's so good.
Yeah, I mean, Succession winning big in the drama category. Watchmen winning big in the miniseries category, and then also your movie, Andres, Bad Education, winning the TV movie category too. So that's HBO
great movie.
Winning. Yeah, 3 out of 3, and also Late Night with John Oliver also winning that category. So HBO pretty much cleaned up every category except for the comedy category, which went to the Schitt's Creek, which I don't know. Did y'all watch that?
I've never seen that show.
Yeah, because I've never seen an episode. I never watched the trailer. This is the most.
I know nothing about that show.
Absolutely historic. Never happened before in Emmy history. 7 for 7 and all those categories. Insane. And I don't know. But yeah, that's cool. But also shout out to Ludwig Göransson, close to the EGOT. He just needs that Tony. Same thing with Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Reznor.
Someone
that's who I was going for.
Well. Yeah. They both won in their categories. So they're both Tonys short away from the EGOT. So I don't know what Ludwig got to do. I don't know if they got to do like a Creed musical or I don't know what got to happen next. But we got to get Ludwig his Tony. Let's get it.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. 100%. My favorite part was the ending when they got to the Best Drama Series and they're like, nominees for Best Drama. And they were like, The Crown. And I was like, oh, I love The Crown. Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things. The Mandalorian. I was like, The Mandalorian. Succession. I was like, every show they named, I was like, these shows are hype, dude. I love these shows. Like even Stranger Things and The Mandalorian, which are the two kind of like
shows. Yeah.
commercial blockbuster shows that are kind of in there just for fun,
Mhm.
because they're not going to win.
Yeah.
But even those shows, I was like, that's cool. They nominated them. At least
Yeah.
they do that.
But salute to Regina King for her 4th Emmy
yeah.
win, to her 4th Emmy win. That's also historic. And listen, she could be possibly nominated for Best Director this year, according to all of the buzz that's coming out of TIFF. You know what I mean? For
which one?
She did her directorial debut, if I'm not mistaken. Let me pull up the name of it.
Yeah, she did. I forgot the name of it too.
Yeah. But
so I'm listening to a podcast right now. Shout out to The Big Picture again. I always listen to those guys. Sean Fennessy and Amanda talking about the TIFF and the TIFF movies that came out and kind of the highlights.
One Night in Miami. One Night in Miami.
One Night in Miami. Okay. And it's getting pretty good buzz too.
Yeah. Some people.
Amazing buzz. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
The one I heard about that kind of caught my eye. It's based on a play. And it's based on a conversation between a few guys and Muhammad Ali. Did you hear about this one, RB3?
I haven't heard about that one. No.
I forget the name of the movie. I'll look it up. But they were describing the movie. It's apparently just a 2-hour movie that just takes place inside a hotel room between a few guys. I think it's Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali having a conversation, and it's apparently incredible. But any other TIFF movies that you guys hear about that sounded really good? Because I think that's the only one for me that stood out.
There's something else. There was that no man's land or whatever. What was it called?
Nomadland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that one.
I heard about that one. That one sounds really great from what everybody's saying. But obviously, we're not going to see these for a while.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about this? TIFF one?
About how they're doing this?
Yeah, about the screeners and passing it out and doing it this way. I mean, it's obviously not going to generate the same amount of buzz as an actual festival would. Yeah. But this is TIFF. Like this, we just had TIFF and no one really paid attention.
That's the thing. It's one of those things because I always pay attention to this kind of stuff. And I've heard about Regina King's debut. I heard about like Nomadland, things like that. But I don't know. It's something that's not really like sticking. And so I guess they're doing the best with what they can, but I don't know.
I just literally looked it up. That's the movie, by the way. It's Regina King's directorial debut.
Yeah. Oh, that's the movie.
It's One Night in Miami.
The Malcolm X and
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
That's awesome.
So it says right here, One Night in Miami is a night in February 1964 when real-life friends Cassius Clay, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Malcolm X gather to celebrate Clay's win over Sonny Liston.
Oh my God, this is my goodness. Ooh.
And I heard about it, and they're describing it, and I was just like, "This sounds really cool." I didn't know it was Regina King who directed it. So.
Oh my God, they got Leslie Odom Jr. in here,
and
they got Kim Powers who's writing Soul, who directed Soul. Oh man, this is exciting. Yeah, I watch this.
That's the one that stood out the most to me as far as the movies they were talking about.
Yeah. See, I knew that I knew that I had buzz. I didn't know what the plot is. See, that's the thing. I actively avoid plots that come out of like film festivals. Like anytime there's any kind of plot synopsis or whatever, I just kind of get freaked out and stay away from it. The one that I am super excited for is the Trial of the Chicago 7 as well from Aaron Sorkin with Anthony Mackie and a few other people. That one looks super, super exciting to me. But yeah, beyond that and besides One Night in Miami, those are the main ones that I kind of are like really anticipating. But yeah, I get the idea of like the screeners and all that. You're right, it's not the same kind of buzz, but at the end of the day, I don't know what other way they're supposed to have film festivals, right? Like especially, they talked about early on like Sundance still carrying on with the with their whole thing happening this year, but I can't imagine a more unideal situation than being in a freezing, Utah.
Have they moved that?
I think they moved it, but they said
2021.
I think they're still doing it in 2021, but I think they're saying they're still going to proceed with having it like in person or whatever.
Just with low capacity.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Still.
Is it still January? Because it's always January.
I don't know.
Because it's always January. It's always the beginning of the year, January.
Yeah, I don't know if they're keeping,
early February.
I think they are. I think they're keeping it at the beginning of the year and keeping it where it is, but they're just making it low capacity.
That does sound kind of. I mean, isn't it kind of crazy to think that in 2021 we still are probably going to have to keep social distancing and not meeting people?
Yeah. Hey
That's
man,
wild.
you're
To me.
talking to the dude who thought it was gonna be over in 2 months, man. I thought it was gonna be over in 2 months.
I told you, bro. I scolded you that day.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" No.
I thought people
Yeah.
would be smarter, and I thought when the money started getting messed up, people would start paying attention. But the money still got messed up, and nobody said anything.
And that's
So.
the thing. Did you guys see? There was a DJ in Taiwan. They had a full festival the way they normally do, like close, like rave crowd type of thing. And they were able to do that because I guess Taiwan has only had like, I think it was like less than 10 deaths in that entire area.
Wow.
And that was a long time ago, and they've got it under control really quickly. It's like, look at what other people are doing compared to us. I know we've talked about it to death, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's just insane at this point. And the fact that, we're going to have to think about this like really, really long term. Who knows when people are comfortable to actually, I can't even think about when everything's going to go back to full capacity. Like when you could actually go to a concert, stand next to each other like that in a tiny little venue.
Probably going to be another year.
Yeah, or go to a theater and have it actually be full capacity. Like there's going to be change for a long time. We're going to feel it for a while. Like we were talking about with the film festival, Nomadland, Chloe Zhao directed that one.
Yes.
And so I'm really excited for that one. And I love Frances McDormand in every single thing she's in. So that one, and along with Regina King's debut, are kind of like the two that I've heard about the most.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for those two. And they're doing the best they can. It's just kind of sad. You miss that whole feeling. You miss that whole vibe. Even just like the articles with the way the world is, it almost isn't like this is not priority.
No.
Like that's the thing. So I haven't really been paying attention to anything else other than Nomadland and Regina King's debut.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, something else I wanted to touch upon, and it kind of leads onto what you're saying, Sabrina, is what RB3 and I kind of mentioned at the end of the last episode of our live stream, because we got through a lot, but I was like, I have to talk about box office and push my glasses up. But yeah, I have to, because I'm a nerd and this is exciting stuff to me. And I've been talking about this since literally the first episode we did in quarantine, which was at your apartment, Sabrina. And I said, I was like, wait a minute, this is literally just the destruction of movie theaters. And that's kind of what we've seen. And I want to update something that we talked about last week, RB3, which is the Mulan article that I read. And there was actually been a correction in that article, at least by the guy who did the statistics. So I want to pull up this article from The Atlantic, which talked about that article, saying that, where is it? Sorry, guys, I had this ready. So it says here that the Mulan streaming numbers were not the correct numbers, RB3. So the numbers were actually significantly lower. And they went through it again, and it seems like the movie only made $60 million through streaming. 60 million, yeah. Which is incredibly low. So low that it's nothing.
Wait. Does that mean 60 million profit, or does that mean $60 million? Period.
This is based off the $30 fee. This is based off PVOD. So this is nothing to do with the theaters or China or anything like that. So on PVOD, it made 60 mil, which is like $100 or something million lower than what was previously reported, which was a mistake apparently.
I mean,
the numbers.
It's 200 million because people were saying if it was 30. I remember people saying it was 9 million people, 30 million.
Yes.
Yeah, 9 million. 9 million people, $30. That's $270 million. So this is 60 million.
Yeah, so it says here Disney took two parallel swings domestically and globally, each approach laden with risk. In America, the studio decided to offer the film to Disney Plus subscribers for an extra $30 fee. Mulan was also put in theaters abroad, giving the lower COVID-19 rates in other countries. Disney's hope was the film's story, and its array of Chinese stars would make a good box office in China. Okay, we know that. None of it paid off. American viewers probably balked at the idea of paying a $30 fee on top of their Disney subscription fee. Literally says what we said in the article, and everyone yelled at me for 2 weeks. It says the film has also been affected by the revelation of the Xinjiang region in China. Yep, where they have the internment camps. We know that. It says here that 60 to 90 million is the average that they were going for, based on the correct numbers, which means it's not even going to make its money back, probably,
Wow.
considering how much it's made in China.
You know what? I'm not shocked at all, because I remember when we first talked about this, and we've been talking about it for a while, and how this was a steep price. Then we watched the movie and continued to say, I don't know if it's worth it at all. But I'm not surprised, because we were also like, if this does well, are they going to do the same thing for Black Widow? And then, of course, I don't know, like less than a week ago, we get the announcement. Yeah, a couple days ago, we get the announcement that Black Widow's,
May 7th, 2021.
So I kind of I didn't even see that article. I saw the original report, which was something like over 200 million.
Yeah, it was 260, I think. So it's literally 200 million less.
Yeah, so that's the thing. I saw that original one, and I was kind of wondering when the Black Widow, when it came out, that it was going to be pushed back even more. I was wondering about that. I was like, if they were so successful with Mulan, why wouldn't they keep it and just put it on Disney Plus the way that we were predicting that they would?
Yes. But again, it goes to show that this $30 fee, the idea of it simply was not rooted in logic, considering that most people don't have $30 to spend on a movie when you're already paying a subscription for the Disney Plus service, which shows that you are a fan of Disney. I mean, anyone who has Disney Plus is at least kind of a fan of Disney. So to me, this just shows another example of the downward spiral, not just of movie theaters RB3, but of PVOD and of this kind of $30 premium platform that they had. But also going off your comments, Sabrina, you're talking about the Variety article that came out that said they're moving a bunch of movies. Disney moved Eternals to November 5th, 2021. It also moved the new Shang-Chi movie to July 9th. It's probably going to move Soul. Soul is the one that's up in the air RB3, because Soul is the one that I could see them doing a Disney Plus thing, and I could see them doing another premium VOD thing, or moving it, or what do you think is going to happen to Soul? That's the only one.
If they do Soul, they will probably do the pre-VOD thing. They'll probably charge 24 instead of 30. What they should do, make it free. They should make it free. If they made it free, it would kill so hard, so easily. It would reach so many Black households, just like that. You know how quick the Disney Plus numbers would just shoot up, and then they will not only shoot up, it'll be so much positive Twitter buzz, so much positive reaction. Like, it will be the most sought after thing ever. Like, and by the way, in a year where there is not like a lot of critically acclaimed movies, like, it would also instantly shoot up into like Best Picture consideration too. Like, pretty much almost as a front runner, because so far we have Tenet, which, you know, is not gonna
Trolls World Tour.
Yeah, Trolls World Tour. I mean, that's the animated category. I'm talking about the Best Picture, like in terms of the top movies of the year, besides One Night in Miami.
Trolls World Tour.
Yeah, that one, of course.
Justin Timberlake fan.
Well, I like Trolls World Tour, so I
know you are. You love that movie.
Yeah, I'm a fan. But if there's a reality where this movie is one of the biggest talked about, one of the most culturally impactful movies, way more than Tenet's ever going to be, way more than any other independent movie is going to be, it would just do the most. If they make it a $20 thing, the impact is going to be a lot less though. Like Mulan, I feel like kind of just came and went with a whimper.
Mulan bombed. Yeah. It didn't just come and way, it bombed.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, it's like, we talked about it because especially Mulan is a really weird film to kind of use as the first example of what they could possibly do with the $30 PVOD, which I completely disagree with, and I don't think they should do it at all. But it is a weird film because we already have an animated one that's the same story. So you already have the film on Disney Plus. Yeah, but better. But like, you already have it on Disney Plus, and also Mulan wasn't great. Imagine if we heard a lot of positive buzz and everyone's like, you know what, Mulan captures the magic of the animated film. It's spectacular. You got to see it. Those numbers would probably be a little bit higher at least. But the thing is, it was lackluster, and we have the original story. Something like Soul, at least, is a brand new story that we want to see, that a lot of people have been talking about for a while. So I think putting it on Disney Plus for free would be absolutely great, because one, it is a lot easier if you don't already have a Disney Plus subscription to just sign up and be like, yeah, I'll pay, what is it, $6.99 or something like that?
$7.99.
Yeah, something along those lines. I'd rather pay that, and then you'll probably keep them as a customer at least for a few more months, and you'll make that money at some point. Like, it's just the smarter move, and I feel like it's the movie that could do very, very well. The easier it's accessible to people, and that's just having it for free on Disney Plus, something like that. The $30, that's not going to work for almost anything. Black Widow maybe, but no.
Well, Black Widow will only work because it targets a very specific demographic. People who are willing to spend.
Well, Black Widow's already May 7th, 2021.
But but I mean, again, Mulan, like you said, Sabrina, Mulan did so bad that it's going to motivate him to not do it. But I think also too, what this whole premium VOD thing kind of like really puts into perspective, I think, especially for a company like Disney, who kind of took one of the biggest gambles so far and is not paid off, is to show that people want streaming for the purpose of things being free. Like, people aren't going to pay extra money on top to buy something on top of a streaming service. Like, I don't think that's necessarily what people are going into. You might have a certain segment of people who are like diehard Disney, who can have the money, who can afford it. But I think Disney has to realize, and companies have to realize, we're literally in a pandemic where, the economy crashed, the stock market, goes up and down, whatever. It doesn't, they handed us one $1,200 check. Like, people literally just can't afford to spend $20, $30 on everything. It's the same problem that we had with movie theater price tickets, like how movie theater tickets kept going up and up, how less people were going to theaters and more people had to become choosy. A successful movie industry only really works if there is a good amount of accessibility and a good target price that makes more people able to enjoy more things, So.
Yeah, and it shows you, right, that the theater numbers have been steadily going way down over the past 5-6 years. Now this year, I mean, they're on the verge of actual bankruptcy, considering that obviously they've had no one go to the theaters. And now it's amplified even more, considering that the movies that are left to close out the year might not even come out, because studios are seeing how bad Tenet did. And Tenet did real bad in domestic box office. So now it's one of those things where the movies that are set to come out the rest of the end of this year, like No Time to Die, like Soul, like any other movie that's left. I mean, even West Side Story got moved. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman is the last test that they have left. And if you ask me, they really should have did the Wonder Woman test before the Tenet test, because especially after you watch Tenet, I watched Tenet and I enjoy it, right? But if I took Destiny to go see it the other day for my second time, her first time. The first 5 minutes, she was out. She didn't want to see any more. After an hour, she wanted to leave. So it's like, that movie is the most inaccessible, unequivocally not commercial friendly movie ever. And I love it for that, but that's not the right movie. Now with Wonder Woman though, I think Wonder Woman is something that could get families excited, the comic book fans excited. It could get, people who are Wonder Woman fans, a lot of the female demographic excited. It could play for holiday season, right, and Christmas. So I think that is going to be the real highlight and illustration of what the box office is going to be moving forward. But we're not going to know until December when that time comes. So
till Christmas.
Yeah.
So. Well, that's my thing. Are we going to get the movies that are coming out at the end of this year? And I'll ask you, Sabrina, because right now theaters are operating at a time where they're losing more money keeping themselves open than they are if they would have just stayed closed. That's another article that I read a couple weeks ago that said theaters are continually losing money, considering that the biggest movie that comes out is making $5 million on its second week. That's nothing. And that's Tenet. That's the only movie that's playing. They're losing a ton of money right now.
Yeah, that's Christopher Nolan, big spectacle that has been in the headlines basically this entire year. People have been talking about it since before the pandemic, just that they're looking forward to it. But we saw it so many times. I don't know if the bad kind of buzz around Tenet, not bad, but a little bit more negative.
Yeah.
I don't know if that, I think that definitely plays a tiny bit of a part. And I think if we had something like Wonder Woman and we had Patty Jenkins and everybody maybe in a month or so, had that be the first time everybody goes to the theater and kind of be like, hey, if you feel like you're safe, go see it. Not like a Christopher Nolan going oh, I want to be the savior of cinema. Go see my film. It's true cinema. You have seen a theater. It's spectacle. I think that there was a lot of things against it that kind of just didn't really help Tenet's case. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're seeing with those numbers. But for the rest of the year, I don't know how it's gonna go. I haven't been to a theater since I saw Bloodshot. And that was my last movie that I saw. No drive-ins, no nothing. I really want to go to a drive-in. I just haven't gotten the chance to. But yeah, Bloodshot was my last one, and it's gonna be that way. It seems like probably until next year. I just
Yeah.
don't really see. I just don't really see too many people kind of flocking out to go see a lot of these films in the state that like we're in and everything that's happening. It just our numbers are still awful. Like the news is awful. The way people are handling the coronavirus is like awful. So unless you're in a certain place and a certain demographic that doesn't really care, I think most places do care, and they started to take it seriously, really, really seriously, a little bit before Tenet came out. Finally, once it
Yeah.
started getting to those astronomical numbers.
Well-
But yeah, so I don't see for the rest of the year.
I mean, you just gotta look at like the United States in general, right? Like we represent 5% of the world's population, but we have over 20% of the world's COVID cases. And there's and it if the United States in particular, particularly like LA and New York, because New York got hit with it really bad in the beginning, but they kind of ended up picking up. Then LA had their swing. Now we're kind of cleaning up. But I feel like if they just would have waited until after LA and New York was fully functional, this would have been a completely different story. If we would have waited to see, not Tenet necessarily, I think if it would have been Wonder Woman in October or November when things were like finally cool to go, then I think across the board for a lot of people, then I think we would have been seeing in a completely different situation where, we'd be talking about our November movies, December movies, January, February, and March movies going on. But now it's almost looking like if No Time to Die and Wonder Woman ends up being pushed, we're not going to see anything good until May of next year. So
Yeah, I feel like we're at a point now where there's such a delicate balance between what we're facing in the country as far as economically, but also socially, considering all the atrocities that are going on with our current justice system, that I can make an argument that some people would appreciate to go see a movie, but I can also make an argument that maybe people aren't in that mindset or aren't in that economic set where they're financially prepared to go see a movie. It really is that delicate thing where I can make an argument for both. I could be like, hey, people now more than ever could use a good movie to go watch. I could also be like, people now more than ever, the last thing they want to watch is a movie and distract themselves from what's going on because they want to focus on actual issues at hand that we're currently facing. So
I think a lot of people are looking for an escape.
Yeah.
I just don't think this is the right one. I just don't think going to the movies. I think maybe watching a lot on Netflix, which is great for
video
Netflix.
games.
Yeah, video
Netflix,
games.
yeah.
I'm not on that, but Netflix
PS5.
coming out with like Enola Holmes, The Devil All the Time. They just keep coming out with these. They
Sure.
have a lot more coming out until the end of the year. I think that's what's also changing it, is that we have these releases coming out for free. A lot of people have Netflix. So that's what they're checking out, honestly. You get that a little escape, but you're not putting yourself at risk or anybody around you. So it's not like we can't see any movies at home. We're able to.
Yeah. And I think we're starting to reach a point, though. I can also make this argument or make this point, maybe not necessarily us or maybe not necessarily me, but some people are starting to get to a point that maybe it's been so long that they've been able to go out and do anything that this idea of if I'm safe, maybe I can't get away with it. I didn't even know that people were going to Disneyland, but apparently Disneyland is popping. And I didn't know that.
World. I don't know about is Disneyland open
Or
too?
Disney
know
World, I
yeah,
guess.
I think
World's open.
Disneyland's open.
Disney World. Yeah. Disney World. People are going there, but they're all masked and they're just like, it's fine, whatever. I don't know. Are we going to get to that point where if we're wearing masks, we just assume that we're wearing super shields? Captain America's mighty shield?
I think certain people, certain places, certain demographics, the way that they look at coronavirus and COVID and like how much they believe, because there's still people that I know that are like, oh, it's fake, like this isn't real, and
Really?
we're oh yeah, there's so many people. I don't know if you have Facebook, but if you go on Facebook, you just see the worst trash of your entire life on the feed. It's ridiculous. And it's people saying that's not real and that they walk around without a mask and they're going to parties and they're doing this and everything's fine and they're okay. So clearly it's not real. And it's just the most ignorant thing. So I think I don't really know I can't see the general population being like, all right, we're wearing a mask, so everything's good, because you do, I mean, if you're like in bathrooms and everything, like you're touching so much, and I know it doesn't live on surfaces long, but it just, I don't know, putting yourself at risk to watch a movie. And for us who we love movies, but that just doesn't, for me even, that doesn't seem like the best thing to do when I have Netflix and I'm able to catch up on movies that I haven't seen from last year, years prior, and new releases that we're getting.
Yeah. 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 Obviously there's a lot there and there's always stuff that we can talk about week to week. I'm definitely curious what's going to happen. I'm the doomsday prepper kind of guy. I think there's going to be no movies, or if there are going to be movies, they're going to fail. Like there's just no way financially that you can recover your money for a $300 million movie by 25% capacity in movie theaters where no one wants to even go. Like there's just, I don't understand how that's a financially smart thing to do at this time. You're, even if you're waiting more, I think it's better to wait, even if it is a couple months. But I do want to get to our main topic of the day. We finally got here, guys. We did our top Disney songs draft. Now we are doing our top movie scores draft, which is incredibly difficult, as I've been prepping throughout this day a little bit, looking at my favorite movie scores of all time and me being like, oh my God, how am I going to pick, considering that there is so many classic movie scores that I feel like I have to draft and I have to pay homage to and I have to have on my team, my movie score fantasy team. And yet there are new ones that have come out over the last maybe 10 years or 20 years that I'm a huge fan of, and I want to give them that shout out. I want to give them that love. But at the same time, am I sacrificing the classics for my new love who will be on my fantasy team? Let's find out. Welcome to our movie score draft, where we are drafting our top 5 movie scores. You guys can use your own logic, your own reasons as to why you drafted these or why you're going after these. But either way, guys, we're doing this snake draft style, same as last time. Sabrina always going to go first. She gets the number 1 pick.
Oh, awesome.
And then we'll come back to me. I'll get 2 picks, and RB3 is always going to get 1 pick. Right, RB3? I've done this enough?
Yes, it's going to be, yes.
Got it.
You got it right.
So this is how we're going to do it, guys. Our draft. We obviously want to hear from you guys who you're taking as your number 1 pick. Right now in the chat, if you want to sound off, let us know what your number 1 pick is going to be as far as your top movie score of all time. Without further ado, we're putting on a show. We're putting on a concert. Sabrina, you got to pick a score and a composer.
High School Musical. No, I'm kidding.
Bet on it too.
Bet on it over and over and over again. That's actually my entire concert. So the way I approach this isn't my top 10 of all time. This is kind of right now in this moment, if I were to be able to sit inside like a concert hall, the kind of show that I would want to see. Okay. And obviously a lot of these are some of my favorites. They might not be the best this is purely subjective on my point. So you're already cringing.
I'm not cringing. I'm smiling because I'm in the same boat, guys. I don't know about you, but I was like, man, if I just pick classics, it's kind of boring. I kind of want to pick some like new fun ones, even though the classics are important and we should honor those. So
it's tough. I was just like, personally for me, which ones I would want to see. So my first one is Moonlight, Nicholas Britell's score for Moonlight. That's going to be my first choice. Yeah, I needed to snatch this up quick just in case, because this is one of my favorite scores of the last few years. I think this one is so beautiful. The piano, this is what I want to be in. I want to be in a concert hall and I want to just have this cinematic experience alone. We're at 25% capacity and I'm just sitting in my chair watching that orchestra go. We have the string instruments. We have all of that coming in. So that's why I had to pick this one as my first. I have a different order of what I want the show to be, but I wanted this one as like my lock pick. So I'm going to pick Nicholas Britell's score for Moonlight.
There you go. Oscar nominated Moonlight is the first one to go. RB3 with the number 2 pick.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good number.
On the clock.
Yeah. Okay. So, wow. This kind of just took me back. I am gonna. Okay. So I'm actually gonna go with. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'll be fair.
Beale Street?
I want to go for one John Williams score.
Oh, there's like 100.
And I know which one Ace wants, and I kind of want to take it, but I'm not because I want Jaws. That's right. The score for Jaws.
Jaws.
Doom, 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 doom. Dum, 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 dum. One of the most iconic scores of all time.
Yep.
You could do so much with it. And I just think it's a really dope way to like open a concert. Like I think if you open any concert with that, you're setting the tone.
How would you dance to Jaws? Like if people were like vibing with it, how would you dance to like dun 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 dun?
Yeah. It's a turn up, man. I mean, it's just wavy. It's just wavy.
Yo, the club goes no.
Yeah, you just
club
get some
goes
water,
wild.
Just get some sprinklers overhead or whatever, and just get some water
blood.
spraying. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
The blood from the sprinklers. Shout out to Blade.
Yeah. So I gotta go with that one for sure.
Yeah, that's a great pick. Obviously, John Williams is the GOAT, greatest of all time, and the greatest movie score of all time, guys, is my pick. And I had to do it because it's the greatest. Like you can't just ignore the greatest of all time. It's the GOAT, and that is Star Wars. Obviously, a lot of people consider Empire Strikes Back to be the superior because Empire Strikes Back introduced the Imperial March. That's the first time we ever heard it. But I think A New Hope even has some great ones too. Obviously, the Force theme, Leia's theme. Leia's theme is, to me, is like one of the most beautiful pieces of music ever. But I also think Yoda's theme from Empire Strikes Back is gorgeous. It's super, one of my favorite Star Wars songs. It brings me to tears every time. But either way, guys, I'm going Star Wars. That's mine.
Star Wars, just in general?
I mean, if I have to pick, I'll pick Empire. But I feel like if we go to the Phantom Menace and if we go to Last Jedi and there's a few new songs, there's obviously Rey's theme and all that. You guys can do it if you want, but I'll pick Empire. I'll say that's my number one pick. My number two pick. This is hard. This is hard, y'all.
Yeah,
I had my list here and I don't know where I put it, and I'm really upset at myself now. So I'm gonna do it off the dome.
Yeah, if you guys also in the chat want to send in your picks, you can super chat Streamlabs. If you do $10 or up, it'll be read on air. So yeah, let us know what are your picks.
We've ignored the Streamlabs, man. Oh my goodness, we do have Streamlabs.
Oh, do we have Streamlabs?
Oh,
we do. Yes, I completely forgot.
Do we want to get to that before my number two pick?
Yeah.
Or is it too many?
No, I don't think we have too many. I mean, I think we got a couple here. Let me log in real quick, y'all. My apologies. Go ahead and give your number two pick, and I'll
okay.
I'll go ahead.
Here we go, guys. We went John Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm picking another composer that's one of the GOATs, in my opinion, and a current composer. Someone who's done so many of my favorite scores that it's just so hard to pick one that I might even come back to him. So stay with me here. But I'm going with my boy, Hans Zimmer.
$10. I think they should just move the rest of the movies scheduled for this year to next year. Also still waiting on the first cut Patreon.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Pardis.
Thank you, Pardis.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the chat right now. Any other ones?
No, that's it.
Got it. My boy, Hans Zimmer.
Okay.
There's too many, right? There's too many to name, considering he made Inception, Dunkirk, Interstellar. But I'm going with one that I feel like a lot of people forgot because it came out in the year 2000. And it's something that people weren't around for, aka you guys. But in the year 2000, this movie came out, won a couple Oscars, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm going Gladiator. One of the most beautiful scores I've ever heard. That final song, as Maximus is walking into heaven, is one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. Gorgeous, beautiful, it's got a Middle Eastern vibe to it, which I love because I feel like that's a part of the world that's frankly ignored. And I love that kind of music. A lot of vocals, a lot of strings, beautiful, beautiful soundtrack and beautiful score. So I'm going with Gladiator as my number two. So RB3, you are on the clock for your number two pick.
Yeah. All right. Number two, I got to go with, listen, man, I know y'all want to represent the classics, but I think y'all leaving out some key ones here. And I can't mention my favorite scores and soundtracks, if I mention one of my favorite composers of all time, R.I.P. the GOAT and Ennio Morricone.
Yes.
The good and the bad and the ugly. How can you
that's
not
a great one.
Go with that iconic score right there. I mean, again, I'm all for the slow build. I'm all for those long tracks. I like the songs that kind of build up with that, that kind of just like minimalist and then just goes in and gets big and explodes. Yeah, that's the kind of symphony I'm looking forward to.
donated $10. Uncut Gems is one of my favorite scores no one talked about last year, and if you disagree, that's big cap. Hashtag first cut Patreon.
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
That's a great one. That
was one of my favorites from last year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I like that one, and I liked. We'll get to a lot of our other favorites, but Us is a great score.
Oh yeah.
Underrated ass score.
Absolutely.
Super underrated score.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So am I next?
No, RB3 is.
Oh, you said
No, I already want mine. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ennio Morricone.
Yes.
Morricone.
I definitely mispronounced that. Yeah. So.
Sabrina.
Yep. Okay. So my second choice is actually my favorite score of all time. This is going to be like no surprise to anybody, but obviously it's John Bryan's score for Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, wow.
John Bryan always kills it, and nobody pays attention to him. Like, I saw him in concert a few years back, and he was incredible, and this score is perfect for this film. I had a long conversation with our friend Raul Mendoza. We talked about this score for so long because the film would still be great, but it wouldn't work as effective. This score elevates that film so well. It's whimsical, it's beautiful, it's light and bouncy when it needs to be, but then also it's very heavy when it needs to be. And there's guitar, there's piano, there's strings, there's every type of thing. If you go through the entire score, it's constantly changing the way that the film is. And it's something, it takes you on a ride from start to finish, an emotional roller coaster, even if you're not watching the film and you don't remember which ones are happening, which scene. It is just stunning. So that's my second choice. That's
a great choice. You get another one, Sabrina. So your number 3 pick, right? RB3? I'm doing this right? I always have to ask you.
Yep. No,
sorry.
that's right. You're right.
Your number 3 pick, Sabrina, because your number 2 is great. And
that's the thing. I'm sticking with this whole very kind of light, ethereal, very like whimsical type of music. And so for my third one, I'm gonna go The Theory of Everything, Johan Johansson score.
Really?
That is another one. Yeah. Johan Johansson, so freaking great.
Yeah.
Always knocking it out. But this one stuck with me in particular because I like the film, but the score is something that I would listen to all the time when I was in college, when I was studying and doing all of that. And it just stuck with me. I think it's beautiful. It's like a lullaby. Again, it's that ethereal, whimsical, very light when it needs to be. So I think this would be something that would be spectacular in a concert venue. This is something that I want to hear. So I'll have my third one be The Theory of Everything.
That's a great one. And obviously, I think we're going to swap a lot of composers here when it comes to the kind of people we're choosing. Because that's a great choice. And he's a great composer. Like RB3 said, RIP, definitely one of the greats. And he's made a lot of great scores. Already great. 3 picks. RB3, number 3.
Hey, man. Well, I got to go with... Give me a second here, y'all. Hold up. I'm cooking up something, man. I'm trying to do the science right. Hold up.
Science. You getting the stats right for your fantasy numbers?
Let me make sure I'm mixing and matching the right way. Okay, I made my decision.
Okay.
We'll talk about scores and soundtracks. We've been talking mostly about scores so far, right? Mm-hmm. But we're not valuing the perfect combination of a score and a soundtrack. And I think there's no other movie that better exudes beauty, class, elegance, with a mixture of disaster, tragedy, and heartbreak, with an amazing Celine Dion song. That's right, Titanic is my number 3 pick.
Hey.
The late great James Horner. I can't.
Yes.
The music, the score, the flute, the song. It's the perfect combination. I think that'll just go up. It just instantly send those tears.
Yeah, I forgot you're a Cameron fan too.
Yeah,
that would go crazy at a concert. Yeah.
Yeah, so I gotta go.
You gotta give us some bars though, bro. You gotta give us some bars.
Oh man, I can't sing that good.
Donated $15. 1. The score from The Lion King 1994 2. The score from Him Thinking of Ending Things 3. The score from La La Land 4. The score from Knives Out 5. The score from all 3 Lord of the Rings films.
Oh, see, that's a good. Those are all good right there. Yeah.
Yeah. What about them bars though, man?
I don't know lyrics, man. I don't know. I could give you a hum. You know what I mean?
Jack. I'm kidding.
Yeah, no.
That's a great one.
Of the world. No, that's it. That's it right there.
That's a great one, dude. I love that choice. Yeah, I like that we're going sentimental, man. I'm not the only one who's sentimental here. We're all picking very emotional stuff.
Oh, I'm going full sad, full emo. I don't have anything upbeat.
Yeah, me neither. So my this is my number 3. I'm gonna pick one. Well, do I want to pick that one? I think I have to pick this one, and I'm doing it for you, RB3, and by doing it for you, I mean taking it from you. And I'm going with one of the best scores of all time, one of the most original movies of all time, from probably my favorite director of all time. Shout out to Raised by Wolves. That's my favorite new show right now. I'm going Blade Runner. Blade Runner is one of my favorite scores. I think it's so new, so unique, so original, and I'm taking it from you, RB3. I'm taking that pick. And I'm going to get touchdowns from Mr. Vangelis. Who made one of the best scores in movie history with Blade Runner. That's my number 3.
It's fun. You picked that, and here's my thing. I've been trying to think. I've been racking my brain. Like, should I pick my favorite scores? Because if I'm picking my favorite scores, this list will be completely different. But I'm thinking of more of the concert route, right? Me personally.
I mean, you picked the good, bad, and the ugly.
Well, that's one of my favorites. But that wouldn't even be my Alessio Morricone. I would pick I would pick one of his. I'll personally pick the one I've talked about, Algiers, whatever.
Mission?
Some war movie I talked about before on this podcast a lot. But I'll pick that. But that's not commercially like viable. Like I'll pick deep cuts like all around. But,
well, his opening song for Hateful Eight is Gangster.
Oh yeah, that was dope.
Gangster.
Dope. The thing could have been a good contender too.
The Thing is incredible. Oh my God, that score is like the best part of the movie.
The Battle of Algiers. And Alessio Morricone. Great score.
There you go. Hey man, I took Blade Runner from you, so I'm happy. I'm gonna go a little outside the box with my number 4. And I saw a lot of people in the chat put this, and I swear I had this on my list before the chat. And this is kind of what I meant, Sabrina, by trading off as far as our composers go, because I'm also going with someone that's recent and someone who I think actually, I keep shitting my boy Ludwig throughout this whole episode, but I'm sorry, Ludwig. Someone who should have won the Oscar, in my opinion. I'm going with If Beale Street Could Talk. It's a very recent score. Very recent score, considering it just...
You already know I had to bring up my boy Wong Kar-wai. One of my favorite scores / soundtracks is Falling Angels, especially the song Only You. There's also some great A24 ones, but my 2 favorites are Under the Skin and The Lighthouse. Also Beale Street.
Under the Skin.
Yeah, yep. Beale Street. Yeah,
also Beale Street. He got it before you did.
Yeah, it doesn't count. He took it. If Beale Street Could Talk, that score's beautiful. I mean, it's got the song Agape is like one of the most beautiful songs I've ever heard. I don't know if you guys know which one I'm talking about.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been used in commercials and stuff too. But that score, in my opinion, should have won the Oscar. That was my favorite score of that year. No shade to Black Panther. I'm going with If Beale Street Could Talk. I'm trying to do something recent because I feel like all mine are old. Yeah. So as far as a recent one, that's probably my favorite recent one. So
yeah.
Nolan De Palma donated $20. Hey, great show so far. You all my 5 fave scores are 5. Ennio Morricone, Hateful Eight 4. Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross's Social Network 3. Resort Alani, Cannibal Holocaust 2. Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wallfish, Blade Runner 20.
Blade Runner 2049. Hold up, and let me pull up that last one.
That's a great one.
Score, Blade Runner 2049.
I was just listening to it. 2049 is a great score.
Yeah, not a great movie, but great score for sure.
Oh my
I saw
God.
Kanye watching it.
Hey, don't give no shade to Kanye for that, bro.
He said number 2, Hans Zimmer and Benjamin Wallfish, Blade Runner 2049. Number 1, John Carpenter, Halloween.
Oh, see, there's one I didn't even think about.
Yeah, that's the ultimate combo right there,
that's awesome.
Director and composer.
So
Yeah,
that's.
I'm sorry.
Well, I have 3. This is you're gonna be your 4.
You have 4.
I have 4.
Yes,
Yeah, I do
right?
have 4. You're right.
Okay,
I'm so
you're
sorry.
right. Yeah, yeah, 4. Okay, so this is my number 4 pick. You're right, Andres. I do gotta start thinking modern. I have a lot of old ones: Jaws, Titanic. What else did I pick?
Bad.
Good, Bad, and
Good,
Ugly.
Bad,
Yeah,
yeah.
these are old people stuff, right? How are we gonna appeal to the youngins? How are we gonna get the young people engaged in this performance? You know what? I'm gonna go recent too, and I'm gonna go with one of the most iconic musician duos of all time, Daft Punk, Tron Legacy, as my number 4 pick. You just gotta liven up that party. I mean, it's the ultimate EDM rave, trippy. You know what I mean? And they might even throw in a Daft Punk performance in there. You know what I mean? You might not know. They might throw out Pharrell and he might sing Happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or
Daft Punk does not do Happy, but yeah.
or not. What they do? They did. Get Lucky. Yeah, that's right.
We're up all night to get lucky. Yeah.
They did a Weekend song too. What's that one? They did a couple Weekend songs together.
No, you can't have this loophole like this.
Okay,
Daft Punk, they can't bring in the Weekend.
But all right. Strictly Tron Legacy.
Yo, Beyonce's gonna come out for some reason.
No, strictly Tron Legacy. But they do have a Tron Legacy companion soundtrack too. That's a little more pop vibe too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they threw a little track like that in there. So I'm going Tron Legacy with
That's
my
a great
pick.
one.
Yeah.
Is it back to me?
Sabrina, is your final pick?
No, I think I have 2 more.
Yeah. So your 2 final picks.
I have 2 more. This is so tough, guys. This is so hard for me. I'm still racking my brain. My next one is cemented, but my last one, to narrow it down to 5, especially the vibe that I'm going for. Obviously, I'm missing incredible picks like The Social Network, like Drive, stuff like that, because this doesn't fit the concert lineup that I want to have.
Sure.
So continuing on, but even just narrowing it down, it's still hard with this type of vibe. So I'm going to have to go Call Me By Your Name.
Ooh.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm going to have to go Call Me By Your Name. The soundtrack, because the soundtrack has the score, it has the music in the film. So we have a little bit of like 80s music. We have obviously my boy Sufjan Stevens with 3 of his like best songs he's ever created. Some of his most mature work he's ever created with Visions of Gideon, Mystery of Love, and Feudal Devices. Feudal Devices not being an original song to the film, but it's still on the soundtrack and it's changed and it's different. It's the Dopeman remix. So I can't have this concert without making a loophole so that I could also have Sufjan Stevens perform. I gotta do it. It's my favorite musician of all time. And this score is so beautiful and it will take us back as we're sitting in those chairs, as we're coming out of quarantine and we're finally able to go to this concert, to sit down and be transported to somewhere in northern Italy with this soundtrack, with this score and this Sufjan Stevens. You know I had to do it. It's Chef Kiss perfect. So that's my next score. And my last one. Oh my god.
Here we go. High School Musical 3.
Almost.
No, I'm kidding.
One of my options is pretty bad, and I'm definitely going to get clowned on.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go with the other one. I'll go with Palo Alto. Devontae Hines from Blood
really?
did the score from Palo Alto, and that's always been one of my favorites. I had it on vinyl when I was back in Chicago in high school. The vibe that I'm getting from this entire concert, and I must be going through some like existential crisis that has to do with my birthday. I'm getting like all of my favorites basically from high school is kind of what's coming out into here right now. And this was one of my favorites because I liked the movie, but I loved the score. Blood Orange, Devontae Hines, so talented. And what he did with this score is something else. And the soundtrack and everything, it's something so different. There's obviously like synthy. It's very angsty teenager living in like suburbia. And I'm here for this entire thing, especially because we're going all different directions, but all in the same type of vibe. That is something that I definitely wanted to add. And my honorable mention that I just had to say was all of the Twilight soundtrack and scores. Yo, No, don't even say that to me right now. I have to give a quick shout out. We have Carter Burwell. We have Alexander Desplat. We have so many talented people working on this score that's actually great. Like Bella's Lullaby. We have that whole scene with Robert Pattinson fake playing the piano with the crazy camera angles. You know, we love that stuff. We love it.
Yeah, that's actually a great song. I love that song.
And we have Paramore with Decode on it. Like Decode is a banger.
How did we get here? Yeah.
Yeah, we have Bon Iver, we have Saint Vincent, we have Iron and Wine. There is so much, and you know what? Sorry, I'm changing my Palo Alto, and I'm sticking with that.
You took
now
it
that
off?
I talked about it. Yeah, sorry, I had to change.
I'm taking Palo Alto. What's up? No,
are you actually? Okay, I was like, damn, that hurts.
Joking.
But for all the reasons I said before, Twilight with Bon Iver, Saint Vincent, all of that, and the piano, beautiful.
Yeah, that piano is great. RB3, your final pick.
My final pick.
On the clock.
My final pick. Gotta be one of the all-time classics.
Okay.
Instantly recognizable. Gotta be the all-time, the great Isaac Haynes, Shaft, the theme song from Shaft.
Yes.
You gotta put this on. Well, hold up. Watch when that guitar riff gets started. Hold up. Yeah.
See, but you could put your songs.
That's not fair.
If I could put my songs, I'd win.
Let's turn it down for the copyright. But yeah, no, that's that would be my number 5 pick. That's just a groovy way to just end the night. You know what I mean? So, and also one of my favorite songs and favorite soundtracks. So,
yeah, that's a great one, man. Obviously, that's a man. You guys are. I'm debating my number 5 because I'm so stressed out about it because I thought I had it, but then you guys come up with these picks. But you know what? I'm doing it. I don't care. Everyone hates on me because I love this score. I saw this movie back in 2015. It was my favorite movie of the year. I thought the score was so cool, and it's mimicking another score. And that's okay, RB3. You can do your thing. It's kind of an adaptation of another score, which I guess is supposed to be a no-no. But he won the Oscar last year. He should have won the Oscar for this one. I'm going with Creed, Ludwig Göransson, bringing that Rocky vibes, bringing that hip-hop, bringing that 808s, bringing those kicks, those drum. To me, this is one of the first scores to really introduce hip-hop into scores. Which is something that's almost never been done. Ludwig is an already iconic composer because he did this. He did it for this movie. He did it for The Mandalorian. He did it for every score he's ever done. He's always introduced some kind of electronic beat or some kind of hip hop beat. This is the perfect blend between modern and old school. Plus, I get to bring out Meek Mill. Yo, Philly, stand up.
Oh, nah. If I don't get to bring out
free
Pharrell,
free McMill.
Nah. If I don't get to,
Lord knows I'm filthy rich. Let's go.
No. If I can't bring out Pharrell, you can't bring out Meek.
Start running.
Absolutely not.
Lord knows I'm filthy rich.
I got Sufjan, you got Meek Mill, you got Pharrell.
I got motorbikes going across my stage, doing wheelies, and then I got Michael B. Jordan running across the stage.
Oh my
every
god.
time. Dude, tell me, yeah. Let's go, come on. Tell me this score is not the most hype shit you've ever heard in your life. Like, I swear, when it reaches that, I'm just like, like screaming. I swear, this is the most hype score of all time. My concert's gonna rock. I got wheelies. I got bikes. I got ATVs.
Yeah.
Bro, I got Philly. Come on.
That's a good concert.
I'm done, bro.
That's a good concert. That's a great concert.
Alrighty, guys. I want to do our lineup real quick.
Do I start?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Reason.
Okay, so I'm gonna open up with the Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I'm gonna open up with that whimsical, getting that like doo doo doo. Like we're gonna get us in with that. We're gonna go through this entire journey of this film basically with this score. So we're starting out with that one, a little more whimsical, a little lighter, tiny bit heavy. It's getting you set up for what we're about to go through. So starting with the Eternal Sunshine, and then we're going to go into the Theory of Everything. So that's when we start to get kind of a little heavier, like very beautiful and whimsical, but definitely not upbeat. not a bop. We're kind of in our feelings. We're really we're reflecting about our life watching that one. So Eternal Sunshine, Theory of Everything, then I'm going to go Moonlight. And it's basically the same thing. Then we're double in our feels. We're really out there. Then I'm going to go Call Me By Your Name. And so Sufjan comes out, and then you're just like, all right, my night is ruined because this concert is so sad. But then we end with Twilight. On the highest note possible, we got Paramore. We got Bon Iver.
It better be Paramore to close it out.
Yeah, Paramore for sure is closing it out with Decode. We're going through that beautiful, sad score, and then ending with Bon Iver, which is also very sad, and then Paramore to close it out. Oh. This is very sad.
You got to give us some bars, girl. Decode. Yeah.
Oh, you stay
Used to what?
Know you so well. First of all, none of us could even pretend to sing like Hayley Williams. We can't.
No, we can't.
We all know Hayley. There's an actual Schmoes video that it's just me talking about Hayley Williams and my love for Hayley. I've loved Hayley since I was like 13 years old.
I was literally like 9 years old. I thought she was the coolest human to ever grace Earth.
She still is. I love Hayley. Yeah. I still follow her on Insta, man. Hayley's my girl.
I still listen to her music. She has a solo album that just came out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you told me about that.
Really great.
Yeah, I've loved all her albums. I actually think, what was the last Paramore album? I thought that last Paramore album was awesome. After Laughter, I think it was.
Yeah, After Laughter. It's good. They're all good.
It's great.
But Decode captured like this perfect like piece of like pop culture when everybody was obsessed with freaking like vampires and emo music. That's the time that I want to be at again. I want to be watching the Vampire Diaries and Twilight and listening to Paramore and Fall Out Boy. That's what I want.
True Blood.
True Blood, all of that.
True Blood. My Chemical Romance comes out. Yeah, I feel it. I like that concert. RB3, what's your concert? And the chat can vote for their favorite too. So sound off on what's your favorite draft and concert. Gotta
open. Doom 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 doom. Doom 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 doom. It's add some 808s under it, and it'll just be like the sickest.
Add a remix.
Oh yeah. And then we in for the Jaws. We in for the Jaws Spectacular is the first song. Second song, Gotta Be Good in the Bad and the Ugly. It'll blend together nicely too, because as the Jaws one is fading out, you get that like old Western vibe mixed in there slowly, and then when that hits, it's a dun dun dun. You got people singing, the choir's going, like everything is just epic and magnificent. The whole orchestra and symphony is just going, it's going crazy, it's getting lit, it's getting wild. Then boom, it just cuts out at the end, and then you hear the wonderful keys of Daft Punk. And then it just gets the whole show live and up. Like people are just dancing, freaking out.
They're jumping.
Yeah, raving, all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, then you transition. You gotta slow it down, but still keep the party fun going with the Isaac Hayes, with the Shaft, and just get that little groovy, funky movement out. You know what I mean? Last little bit of dancing. And then people get ready for the slam dunk at the end. People get ready for the moment that has been settling on their heart this entire time. When that little flute comes out, and you get and listen, you get the big projector going in the background. And you just show the imagery from the movie. In the background, you see the arms wrapped around Leonardo DiCaprio. Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Now you gotta
thing,
sing it.
Yeah, I mean I can't sing. I'll let Leon do it. Yeah, let's go, Sabrina. Woo.
Yeah, I felt that.
Nah, but yeah, you gotta end it there.
You'll get me on the flute. Sabrina will be singing, and I'll be like.
Yeah, RB3 is just vibing.
Yeah. And I'll be crying.
RB3 is giving an interpreted dance.
Yeah. Oh my
like
God.
Deadpool did for Celine Dion.
Exactly.
That Celine Dion song should have been Oscar nominated, by the way.
Yeah.
Ashes. That song is beautiful. Yeah. It's a beautiful ass song. It's so good. Well, speaking of beautiful ass songs, let's go to my concert.
Okay.
Obviously, I've been to the John Williams show. And I'm telling you guys, it gives you chills when you hear ba-da-da, ba-da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-bum, dun 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 dun, and you start hearing that. That's my opening. I'm starting with Star Wars, John Williams. We'll get a little bit of Force theme. We'll get Yoda's theme. We'll get the Imperial March. We start feeling the vibes there of Mr. Vader. So I'm starting with that. Then from there, I'm gonna bring it down. I'm gonna bring it down. You know, we're a little hype, so I'm gonna bring it down. You know, start to get some hand holding going on, some hand holding action. You know, leaving room for
You're
Jesus.
always here with that. You're always here with that romantic stuff.
And I'm going with If Beale Street Could Talk. That people feel the love, rhythms and melodies going all around. Yeah, you could either see it in the air. I'll toss some butterflies into the crowd. Butterflies will come out, roses everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be amazing. And then following from that, I'm gonna bring it into another emotional moment, and that is Hans Zimmer with Gladiator. Now we're really feeling the emotion. Now we're going into heaven. Now we're transcending. Yeah. That's a hard switch, but that's what I do, bro. We're going into the Middle Eastern vibes, bro. We're in another country. We're in another era, another time. Instruments that you've never even heard of because they're not even known from nowadays. And from there, I'm going from back in time to the ancient times to the future. And by the future, I mean 2019, which is last year. And that's Blade Runner, which takes place in 2019. And I'm going with the past to the future. With Blade Runner, we get the synth scores. We get the noir feel. We're going to put on our detective hats because we feel like we're in that environment. Feel like we're replicants and we're really a part of it. We're going to look for Ryan Gosling in the crowd because he's going to show up, even though it's the original Blade Runner and not 2049. And finally, I'm gonna bring out the motorbikes. I'm gonna bring out the ATVs. I'm gonna bring out Michael B. Jordan, and I'm gonna bring out Meek Mill sprinting up and down the crowd. It's gonna be Michael B. Jordan. Literally, as you're in the concert, you'll be doing jumping jacks. You'll be dancing around. I'm bringing hip hop into my show with Creed. Creed is gonna close out my concert with motorbikes going up and down the crowd. With you literally going absolutely apeshit for Creed and for Ludwig Göransson. He's going to come out with his flowing hair. He's going to come out with Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda's going to be right next to him, and he's going to be like, da, 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 da. And Baby Yoda's like right next. It's going to be amazing, guys. It's going to be amazing.
On stage.
Shadow boxing. Everyone's shadow boxing. Face acting all around. It's going to be, I feel something. I feel like Michael B. Jordan right now. Yeah, it's gonna be amazing. My concert is gonna make you feel all the emotions, literally from up to down to back up again. So
I love it.
Yeah, that's my show.
So who has the best concert, people?
Who has the best one? Come on.
Yeah, let us know in the comments down below.
Let us know in the chat. Send in Streamlabs super chats of yours if you still haven't already. We definitely want to hear it. But let us know, whose concert will you go to? What are you looking forward to seeing? Do you want to cry? Do you want to, with RB3s, have epic moments, but then also end on that beautiful note with all of us definitely performing? Or do you want to go to Andres's where, you know, it's definitely a very solid mix of scores or transitions.
Yo, it's a mixtape.
Transitions. But, I mean, I'm feeling it. And then ending on that note, isn't that the note that we all want to end on? So I like it.
Yeah.
Any honorable mentions that you want to give a shout out to RB3, and I'll come back to you, Sabrina, as well, because I know you said
mentions.
Palo Alto. I have a ton. So
I actually do have some. I wanted to mention anything Bernard Herrmann. Part of me really wants to go Taxi Driver, but I feel like that was a little too disturbing for a concert venue.
Yeah.
And I also want to go.
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I also want to go with Psycho, but part of me was like, Psycho and Jaws are, you know, not necessarily similar, but they're both iconic, like horror themes, you know. So I kind of don't want to double up on that. But anything Bernard Herrmann was really, really close to me. Into the Spider-Verse was also, like, on the soundtrack side, I think it's an amazing, amazing soundtrack. You get, you know, Post Malone, Juice WRLD, R.I.P., you know,
Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD, Sway Lee. Yeah, and then also, I didn't get to shout out anything Danny Elfman. I also would have loved to have shouted out, like Spider-Man 2 or Edward Scissorhands. Some of my favorite Danny Elfman scores.
Spider-Man 2 is so good. That score is so good.
Yeah.
I want to shout out one of my favorite recent scores over the past 5-10 years. It came out like 4 years ago. Phantom Thread. Johnny Greenwood.
Yes.
Johnny Greenwood's an amazing composer. Obviously, he did There Will Be Blood as well. That's another amazing score. But Johnny Greenwood with Phantom Thread. Johan Johansson, Arrival. Arrival score is so freaking good. I have a few. What else did I want to shout out? You already took The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I had that on my list, actually. You know which one is incredible as a Bond fan? John Barry with Goldfinger.
Yeah.
Goldfinger is incredible.
Well, even the song Mr. Goldfinger.
Yeah, that's another one.
Yeah.
But even just like the like, come on, you can't get better than that. And just the whole score throughout the movie is incredible.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scores of all time. I'm looking at the past winners of Oscars for the last 5 years or 10 years. Social Network back in 2010.
I thought about Social Network, but that's not a concert song. That's not a concert.
That's
score.
true. That's true.
Concert score.
Hateful Eight won in 2015 for Ennio Morricone. Shape of Water won in 2017. It was nominated against Dunkirk and Phantom Thread. I would have chosen Phantom Thread. I already picked Phantom Thread right now. What would you guys have chosen that year? Because I don't know if you guys like Dunkirk too.
What was the options again?
The year for Shape of Water was 2017. It was Shape of Water, Dunkirk, Phantom Thread, and Last Jedi.
Oh, no,
I would do Shape of Water.
Really? Man, I love Phantom Thread. I was like the one guy who that score was so pretty to me. I was like, man, this is pretty shit.
I love Dunkirk score though. Like I love that score too. I think that score is amazing. Yeah.
And then back in 2018, it was Black Panther that won. If Beale Street Could Talk was also nominated. Black Klansman was also nominated. That's a really cool score.
It's a good score too.
And last year was Joker, which is it was actually a really good score. I can't lie. It was a good score. It wouldn't have been
the movie, but
the score is amazing. Yeah, the score is incredible. I can't deny that. But 1917 was also nominated, and that score.
That's a great score.
I would have given it to that. But Joker's a great score. Any other standouts, Sabrina, that you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, so I had a few. Obviously, I was thinking about my core theme of what I wanted it to be, and I ended up with sad. But I was thinking about a lot of horror ones too that I would have loved to see. So like Suspiria, the original and the remake. Tom York's score is interesting. And then so obviously Goblins is classic. So I like that one. For soundtrack, something that I thought was funny was 50 Shades of Grey. That one's super poppy. It actually has bops and bangers on it. Let's go. Across the Universe, the musical, which I know we've talked about.
Oh,
that is a great.
I love Across the Universe so much. Let me take you down.
Because the covers aren't like cheesy. It's not like they're trying to cover the Beatles.
No.
It's each one is its own thing and it's very unique and impactful. And like the artists that they have that are singing on that soundtrack, so good. And it's really great within the scene.
What's your favorite? Can I ask you, Sabrina, like if you give me like a top 3? Because there's so many in there. Because I haven't met any other Across the Universe fans, so I have to geek out real quick.
Oh my god. Okay, so I love Girl. I love their take on Girl is so good. I love their take on I Am the Walrus. I love I Want to Hold Your Hand, TV Carpio.
Yes. Can I tell you something?
And that scene is amazing.
That key is perfect.
The Come Together is really good. And then obviously the Hey Jude scene is great. So I love that song.
Mine, If I Fell, super slow. If I fell in love with you. It was so good. And Strawberry Fields. I love Strawberry Fields so much. Let me take you down because I'm going to. I love that song. That one. And All You Need Is Love at the end. I love that.
Really good. Another soundtrack that I really love, and I don't love the movie, and we've talked about this, is 500 Days of Summer. I actually have it on vinyl. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff like the Regina Spektor and a bunch of really great talented artists on that soundtrack. So I loved it. Fit the movie very well, but it's even just fun to listen to on my record just because I feel like I'm in this like a romantic comedy drama of my life when I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh, this is cinematic. So that one. Yeah, there's a lot. Of course, La La Land. Of course, Social Network.
La La
There's
Land.
so many. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I give my final shout out to a movie that RB3 and I talked about on our very first episode of the Meeting Enough podcast? And that score for The Fountain. Darren Aronofsky's The Fountain.
Oh, yes.
That score where he's like, it's literally heaven, and it's literally heaven. As Hugh Jackman ascends into heaven. It's called Death in the Awe. It's a beautiful score.
I'm so mad at you, Ace.
Why?
'Cause I forgot that score. And
The Fountain is beautiful.
I forgot Requiem for a Dream too.
The score for that.
Literally,
all of Aronofsky's movies.
People who like ride in my car like often, mainly Destiny, but also Cave too. Like they know sometimes they plug in my phone and some like weird trippy like score is always like playing for some reason. Like what are you listening to? It's always Requiem for a Dream. It's always certifiably Requiem for a Dream because that's my. I could tell you without a doubt that is my easily most listened to score ever. Like because I just that score I just go back to 100 times over. So
another really great one is Like Crazy, the film with Anthony.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Jones. I love that score. It is something that it's another one that I listen to all the time. I just didn't pick it because I had a lot of that same type of like piano, very like sad, dreary, but beautiful and uplifting in certain areas. I had a lot of that. So Dustin O'Halloran on that one, so freaking good. And then also the soundtrack for The Fault in Our Stars is really good. They have like M83 and stuff like that. I don't know. It's really good.
There you go. Alrighty, guys. Let's look at the chat real quick to see who won. So far, Vincent says Ace. Saad says Ace.
Okay.
Albert Stillwell says, I like Sabrina's, but I'm not trying to be sad. I got to go with RB3.
Hey, thank you.
What else is here? Interstellar is a banger, said Saad.
Yeah,
The Ailment says, damn right, Ace. Phantom Thread is gorgeous. Yes, it is. Wizard Maniac says the Crow soundtrack is a banger. Also the Warriors, he says.
Okay.
I think either you or me won RB3. One of us.
I don't know. Spam it in the chat, y'all. All 30 of y'all. How many people are watching live? 37?
30. Yeah,
30.
38.
All of y'all, spam it in the chat right now.
Well,
Who
Tommy
won?
says RB3, so that's a tiebreaker right there.
Oh, that's a tiebreaker. Okay.
Vote for me if you want to.
Yeah.
Don't vote for Sabrina.
Sabrina
between me and RB3.
usually wins these anyway. So.
She always wins.
Yeah.
And don't vote for me. It's between the two of them. I would personally. This is so tough on who I would choose. I would want to go to both your guys, but Titanic, ending with Titanic is iconic. Like that would just be iconic. I would love to be able to see that.
That's a great one. Yeah, but I have John Williams.
Hey, I have John Williams too.
Yeah, but I got Star Wars, fam.
I got Jaws.
That's one song, bro. I got like 20.
Nah, the whole score for Jaws. The whole score.
Yeah, the whole score is pretty good. I can't lie. He's got so many. I can't believe I didn't say Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park, my God.
Yeah.
I was rewatching that the other day because my brother was watching it. That score is just perfect in every way. Such a good score. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's way too many John Williams scores to.
Hans Zimmer, Inception, The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Lion King.
Yeah.
Interstellar.
Yeah.
Interstellar goes hard, bro.
Yeah. The Amazing
either way,
Spider-Man
guys-
2?
No.
Yeah.
For you. See, girl, I'm not moving on. I love you now. I love you strong.
For you.
Gone. Oh my God, where's Philip Phillips at? We got to get him on the meeting of.
Yeah.
And then what was the other one? Is it Pursuit of Happiness by Kid Cudi?
Oh, I'm on the pursuit of happy. When did they use that one?
No, he didn't use that one in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No.
Was it? Oh no, it was.
Yeah, it was
Was
Pursuit
it
of
Pursuit
Happiness.
of Happiness?
I think so.
No way.
Yeah.
I think they might have. It was either. Yeah, I think they did.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, I gotta go back.
All the Cudi remix ones, like they'll pull out like Cudi is like one of my favorite artists of all time, like legit my favorite artist of all time. But that's still funny that he was an Amazing Spider-Man too. I just think that's hysterical.
Also, King of Staten Island used him a lot, but
they did.
My personal favorite was a memory from earlier this year when I sat on set for Bill and Ted, and we watched Kid Cudi perform
Yeah.
"Erase Me."
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
45 times.
Erase me. Yeah.
45 times. We were there for hours. They gave us food and everything. It's in the movie for 1 second.
Wow.
Yeah. That's dope.
We were there for hours listening to the same song, which I'm not complaining. Obviously, it was so much fun, and Kid Cudi was awesome. But it was so funny that we were there for like 8 hours, and it's in the movie for max 4 seconds.
That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
That's how they
That's
do.
so funny. Yeah, Cudi's great live too. If you've ever seen Cudi live, he's amazing. He goes hard live. So, yeah. Either way, guys, that was our episode. That was our first cut live. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let us know what your favorite moment, your favorite score, your favorite soundtrack is. If you're rewatching this on replay, you can still comment. You can still let us know. But either way, guys, where can everyone find you? RB3.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DirectorRB3.
Sabrina.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at Sabrina X Monica, and then also Twitter at Sabrina on Film, and patreon.com/Sabrina on Film.
I'm at Squad Leader Race, guys. Follow me for the Attack on Titan tweets that are going to be coming, for all the Star Wars stuff that's coming, and the NBA Finals that's coming. For the First Cut crew, we're peacing out. Peace.